Thank you, Eve, so much. Well, we welcome everyone here this evening. Thank you for making time to join us for our virtual spring memorial. My name is Teresa Haas, and I'm the director of our bereavement services at Hospice of the Piedmont. And I just wanted to introduce our speakers for today. And each one will then also have a part and may reintroduce themselves. So I'd like to begin by introducing Ron Cottrell, who is our CEO and president of Hospice of the Piedmont, who will be welcoming us here shortly formally. And Craig Wilt, who's our bereavement coordinator for our northern counties. Jennifer Kincaid is our Director of Human Resources, and she'll be reading. Dr. Simran Mann is our Medical Director for the, also for our Northern Service area. Kendall Cook is our chaplain for the South team. And Casey Carafa is our coordinator for the Center for Children. And then we have lovely Eve Waters with us, who is playing the harp and representing our beloved Music by the Bedside program. And you're not seeing Dr. Kate Arnold, who's Tamarkin, who's sort of in the background helping with tech support here, but she coordinates our Music by the Bedside program. So we welcome you all and hope that this time will provide peace and continued healing for all of you. Thank you. And Ron, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Teresa. Again, my name is Ron Cottrell, president of Hospice of the Piedmont, and I want to say welcome. I have to say there's many special events that happen throughout the year at Hospice of the Piedmont, but I have to say these memorial get-togethers are very, very special and one of my favorite times that we can spend together, because we come together as a community that we all have something in common. That something in common is the loss of a loved one. And with the loss of a loved one often comes sadness, often comes grief. But I also hope that we can all be comforted by the memories that we hold in our heart of those loved ones, and that gives us comfort. Next week, it will be the 3rd anniversary of my father's death. And my sister is visiting this weekend. And we have spent time together talking about my dad, smiling and laughing in those memories, which gave me great comfort. In August, it will be the 2nd anniversary of the loss of our brother. And between the stories that we told about my dad and my brother, we were able to find joy in that loss, in the memories that we held of our relatives. And it brings me comfort to be with all of you at this special memorial gathering. I welcome you. I hope you all find comfort in the memories of the loss of your loved one. I hope it brings you joy, and I wish you peace. Welcome to our special memorial service.
Thank you, Ron. Again, my name is Craig Wilt, and I'm the bereavement coordinator for our northern counties. And this evening, our attention will be drawn to images of stars and candles as we reflect on the lives of our loved ones who have died. Gazing at a star and the lighting of a candle in the darkness, both are powerful symbols of hope. We know that the strength of a single star, as well as the strength of a single candle, are able to dispel darkness. In a few moments, Casey Carafa will share with you a beautiful and meaningful ritual that Hospice of the Piedmont staff have been using since last year to memorialize our deceased patients. And shortly thereafter, everyone will be invited to light their candle of hope. And yet, how can we reconcile these images and symbols of hope with the sometimes raw emotions, with those sometimes Yeah, those sometimes raw emotions, perhaps even the despair of grief that many experience following the death of a loved one. These are anxious times in which we live, times that challenge each of us with defining moments. And when any person is confronted with this sort of event, it is usually the time when one's deepest values come in conflict with life situations. As persons who are grieving, the time has come when we must decide what this means for us today. It is a time for each of us to look at our lives and to reflect upon our response to our personal defining moments of loss and grief. Defining moments that give each of us the opportunity to choose a path. Grief or hope, sorrow or joy. How about grief and hope, sorrow and joy? Grief, but not hopelessness, sorrow, but not despairing. It's not for nothing that death is often called the last enemy, because in many respects, death is an enemy. Death takes away from us people we love deeply, from people who can never be replaced, and we can never be the same. In the face of an enemy's actions, our grief is not selfish. It is normal. We grieve because we love. Anything less is unnatural. However, let us strive to grieve with hope. And how can we say that? How can we do that? For many of us, we believe that death is a temporary parting. While it lasts, it's a time of sorrow. But one day it will end and there will be a joyful reunion. And this is grieving with hope. And so it is with this assurance that we have gathered here this evening to remember and to pay tribute to our loved ones who have died. As Ron Cottrell mentioned during his welcoming remarks, each of you came here today because you have lost someone special and you want to celebrate and honor their memory. And so, as he said, we all have something in common. We all love deeply and we all hurt deeply because our loved one is no longer here with us in the way to which we had grown accustomed. We are all here today because we believe that life and love are more than just what we see on this side of the grave. We are all here today because we want to remember those who are no longer with us in their physical bodies, and yet they continue to remain, and they will forever remain with us in spirit. And as we seek meaning in life without those whom we love and whom we continue to love, and as we strive for joy and peace and happiness, and as we look to future's promise, it is very good that we are present with each other here this evening. For together, we can find the inner strength that comes when we share something deep and meaningful with others who are going through similar pain. We are all here together because we have all experienced the death of someone special in our life, and that means we are not alone. So whatever it is that you are feeling right now, just notice it and allow it to be. You've been through a lot. Love is all around us in the disguise of all these feelings. All of these feelings that you are having since the death of your loved one are because you love so deeply. Today, let us recognize that we do not hurt alone. Death and grief are powerful, but as we gaze upon the brightness of a star that knows no boundaries, and as we find comfort in the light and the warmth of an illuminated candle that represents the eternal nature of love that can never be extinguished, let us cling to the assurance that life and love are even more powerful than the passing darkness of death. Sorrow may spend the night, but with the dawn of a new day, there is hope and the promise of a better tomorrow. Thank you. At this time, Casey Carafa will describe the star ritual.
Thank you, Craig. Every year, Hospice of the Piedmont adopts a new ritual to honor the deaths that have occurred. Staff care teams meet each week to plan out care for each patient. But we also take time to honor the life of those who have died. The team members reflect together on each life that we have been privileged to serve. This year's ritual was a star garland. Each star on the garland represents one person. As the team remembers each person who has died, a word or a short phrase is chosen to write on the paper star. The color of the pen used is also selected, considering characteristics of that person. As you watch the presentation of the star garland, you will notice many different words and phrases that characterizes the lives of our patients. These stars remind us of the commonality and the uniqueness of those who have died in our care and who have died in our community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Chaplain Kendall Cook, and I serve the South team at Hospice of Piedmont. And one of my roles is to guide our team every week to honoring the patient who has died or the patients who have died that week. And so it was very meaningful to see a lot of the stars that we have created over the past year. So thank you for that. I would like to share a poem with you all this evening by Catherine Turner called The Star. A light went out on earth for me the day we said goodbye. And on that day, a star was born, the brightest in the sky. Reaching through the darkness with its rays of purest white, lighting up the heavens as it once lit up my life, with beams of love to heal the broken heart you left behind, where always in my memory your lovely star will shine. Amen. I now invite Teresa to guide us into our candle lighting.
Thank you, Kendall. I wonder if everyone has a candle with you, or some of you. Do some of you have a candle at this time? Craig has one. Any of those attending? Well, we will light one right now. So we light this candle in memory of your loved ones, my loved ones, of all those we remember today. Just a moment of silence as we remember. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Kincaid. I'm the Director of Human Resources at Hospice of the Piedmont. And this evening I'm going to share a reading with you titled When We Remember, and the author is unknown. We can shed tears that they are gone, or we can smile because they have lived. We can close our eyes and pray that they will come back, or we can open our eyes and see all that they have left. Our hearts can be empty because we can't see them, or we can be full of the love that we shared. We can turn our backs on tomorrow and live yesterday, or we can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. We can remember them and only that they are gone, or we can cherish their memory and let them live on. We can cry and close our minds, be empty and turn our backs, or we can do what they would want, smile, open our eyes, love, and go on. Thank you.
I think that brings things to a close. I am Dr. Simran Mann. I'm one of the hospice medical directors at Hospice of the Piedmont. I cover the Northern Territory of our area. When I was asked to participate in this, I was really very honored. I'm very grateful to be here with you all. I've only been at Hospice of the Piedmont for about a year and a half, but I can say I feel quite deeply connected to everybody because of the shared emotions that this work brings for our teams and also for our patients and the people that love them. So I want to thank our teams that have made this memorial service possible, our bereavement teams, our chaplain teams, and thank you all for the work you do every day and for reminding me sometimes to always lead with love. But also thank you for our family members who are here today, and to everybody who has lost somebody. I'm sorry, that was my daughter. Anybody who has lost someone, whether it's under hospice care or otherwise, for participating and being here together, and for giving yourselves some space and time to grieve. Because I think it's very easy for us to ignore those negative emotions that can come up when we lose someone. And I don't think that grief ever really goes away. It waits for us, whether we confront it at the moment or later. So thank you for giving yourselves the time to look at that and feel that. I think I can speak for everybody who is participating here when I say that it's an honor to do this work. It's an honor to take care of your loved ones and to be here for you and with you here today. And I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
And we would invite everyone to stay on for a few more moments as Ms. Eve Waters closes us out with an hymn selection. Thank you, Eve. That was really beautiful. And once again, on behalf of everyone at Hospice of the Piedmont, thank you so much for joining us this evening as we pay our respect and tribute to your loved ones. Thank you. Teresa, did you have any other remarks?
I do not. Thank you all. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Eve, that was beautifully done. That's one of my absolute most favorite songs.